Hello, everybody. Shaka Shaka. Welcome to another episode of Take a Break. Nah, we haven't been doing videos for a minute now. You know, a lot of things been going on. You know, and man, we miss hanging out. You know, doing these smoke break sessions with you guys, man. But uh, ran into some situations just not too long ago. Hey, by the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody. We're filming on Mother's Day today. This is Mother's Day Sunday, and so Mother's Day for me started in on Thursday. You know, I told even though that's not your mother, but you know the mother of our kids, right? Say, okay, Thursday's gonna start whatever you want. You know, we're gonna try to take care as much as it. She's into this acai bowl stuff, yeah. And if you guys want to be good husbands, you know, even though you guys don't really love it, make like you guys just love it, you know, and you know just try to enjoy it as much as you can, as much as she loves it. I try to love it as much as she does, and it actually turned out pretty good because I started craving for the thing, you know. It's what do you call it? So shout out to that place out. It's out in Kimoa Farms, you know. It's out in Waiawa. If you guys ever come out this way, man, hit those guys up. And I didn't even know acai is actually Brazilian, man. And the owners are from Brazil, and real nice people, you know. So, yeah, we've been doing a lot of that stuff. Was pretty busy with the Cameron's. You know, we had the We Are Samoa festival that was happening this weekend. This Saturday, man. You guys get a chance, you know, look it up. Radford Samoan Club, you know. But We Are Samoa Festival, look them up. You guys will see some nice performances out there from some great high schools, local high schools out here. You know, we even had a guest people out from that came in, flew in all the way from Australia to perform. They were awesome. Yeah, a lot of you know just bringing the Samoan community together and dancing. But yeah, we having a. I don't have a stick in my hand right now. You know, that was part of the situation. You know, we just want to share with you guys. You know, you know, life goes on, right? You know, but and you know, with all that weight loss, I did, man. You know, we went from what 6.9 and 321 pounds all the way down to I got as low as 251. You know, I think I broke even to 249 at one point, but you know, it was just too close. It was going to jump up no matter what. But so anyway, between 255, you know, and so things are looking great. Went down from 6.9 to 5.8 on that thing. So we're still pre-diabetic. We're on that pre-diabetic thing, but just a couple points short, you know. And so we're gonna making a push now. You know, I couldn't. I was gonna start just this weekend to get back on the diet, get back on that flow, and you know, make that set that goal where I can break into that normal range for the A1C count, right? But in the process, man, dudes. So last week it was we had a scare, you know, and that's why we're not smoking right now. I'll wait till the doctors to allow me to, you know, to get one. So we ended up having a little stroke there this past weekend. Yeah, and it was, you know, got up normally on Saturday. So Saturday I was excited because I had my coconuts downstairs. I was gonna do my palusami, you know. I was gonna start oiling my popo that's husking the coconuts, you know, grate the coconuts, do all that thing, you know. Had got a kawanga from one of my nephews. Kawanga is the thing we used to, a fiber that we used to strain and create the coconut cream from the grated coconuts. And then you know, had that all planned. I was going to go down to Chinatown and maybe pick up some Faspovi Masima and or look for, you know, they have the Chinese people who have the whole boas down there, boas pig, and so I was going to try and get a pig head that morning, and so that was Saturday morning. I think that was last Saturday morning, and got up about like 3 o'clock just before my alarm goes off, which is at 3:30, and then got up and I slept on my shoulder and my hand felt lazy. You know, that's that thing, right? You see those guys who have strokes. You know, they kind of get it on their left hand side, right? So kind of feeling awkward that morning, and so I was sitting down. I started googling on my phone. You know, sitting down by my wife while she was in bed. Started you know, googling, saying, hey, you know, how come? Why does my hand feel lazy? You know, is it because I slept on my shoulder and said, yeah, it's possible that the nerves, you know, from there did that stuff, not knowing that it was that I was going through a stroke. So I was probably awake going through a stroke, you know, and not even knowing it. So I got up. It's kind of was hanging around, spent some time on the phone trying to Google that stuff, trying to stretch my arm and move around. I felt pretty normal. Except for the hand was kind of lazy. Went inside and tried to brush my teeth, put the toothpaste out, and saw my hand go just kind of go straight towards my face. It was feeling kind of weird, and so I just hung out, got ready and stuff. Decided that those two things: either I go to Chinatown and do that stuff, and if I didn't feel good, then I go over to Kaiser because it's on the way down, right? Or the other thing, because my back was bothering me a lot, I wanted to get to the chiropractor, which was they don't open till 7, and I was just about ready to leave the house. I was going to leave the house somewhere around 5:30. So I've been up for like a couple hours, and I got ready to leave after I washed up and stuff. And as I was going down, so I was heading down towards Evelyn, and then ended up you know not feeling. It felt like it was kind of getting worse, and I don't know what the feeling was supposed to be like. Never had it, never experienced it. You hear stories about it, but didn't sound anything like it. Anyways, decided to, maybe it might be best for me to check it out. So I just drove myself to the ER right out here, and heading out towards Everett. It's a Queens Hospital out here, called Queens West. I went there, and then I parked. I thought I was in the right parking lot, but I said, man, I got out the car and then tried to walk to the emergency room. I was thinking, man, this seems like it's going to be a long walk, but it's normally not that very long because I've been to the emergency room for other reasons. So I said, okay, I jumped in the car again, drove around, went further in, and then I was closer. So when I went in, this is like 5:30, maybe just before 5. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. Man, and the place was packed, and man, there was so many people. But when I went inside, they asked me what I was there for, and because I was there for, I was telling them, my arm feels lazy, and they wasn't sure if I was having a stroke. Sure enough, they checked blood pressure, and blood pressure was out of the, it was like 200 something over 100 something, 170, 180 something. It was quite high, so they admitted me right away, took care, started hooking me up and all this stuff. Yeah, so long story short, that's what happened. They just did all the tests, stayed in to so Saturday I went in, right about that time, about 5, 6 o'clock, and then got out about Sunday the next morning. But the main thing was wanted to call my wife, but good thing that we were there, you know. So it wasn't that bad, but it's just the hand could it's the coordination with the fingers. All the whole day they was doing. Everybody came and I had to do the test where I touched their finger and then touch my nose. So it's even now it's a little bit loose, but it's way better than what it was before. And so man, so we did this thing, did all kinds of tests, and then it was just the blood pressure was really high. Mind you guys that all the numbers, like they talk about the LDLs and the HDLs, with all that stuff. I don't know. I don't understand all this stuff, but all those numbers were all in the normal range, And so when they looked at it, they said that because the worst number that I had was the LDL number, which was like 129, was just at the tail end of being normal. So it goes from whatever number to 129 or something like that, and that's where it kind of was. But that was the worst number that I had, but it was still in the normal range. So, in a sense, I think it might have been a good thing that I did lose all that weight, and did get all that stuff down, and the numbers are all good. Otherwise we'd be probably in worse shape than we are. But one of the things that they asked was if I smoked, and I said, man, I said, yeah, I do cigars. I love cigars, and it's that's one of the things that they tell you to do, that you gotta get away from that. And so we've been taking a break. I'm looking at trying to figure when we can get back on it. And if we ever get back on it. But we just wanted to put out a video and get in touch with you guys, just in case you guys are wondering, where this bottle went. And that's basically what it is. And we've been pretty busy with all the stuff that our personal stuff that's been going on. Is trying to get something on as a challenge even today. With the Where's More Festival just being through yesterday. Everybody's pretty burnt out. All the cooking we did, we ended up doing the Polo Semi, but I had good thing I had my son. Creighton was out. Chris was busy. He had meetings with the pastors and over the week this past weekend. Yesterday was that Friday and Saturday. So Saturday was out because Saturday was busy with the thing. So Friday night is when we graded all the coconuts. Had Creighton do it. I husked a few coconuts, scraped a few coconuts, just to make sure I still had it. And so we did some of that stuff. We weren't able to shoot any videos. We were hoping to do it because I knew we was gonna do a video for you guys so we can show you guys the balsami making. One day we'll get into it. So we've been thinking about how we're gonna get any content out here and stuff like that. We know it's a bunch of cigar stuff that we have still yet that we need to wanted to take a look at, but because of the situation we're in, we're gonna be probably taking a break, from I'm checking you guys out. Whoever's putting out content out there. I still go out and listen to these guys and try to support as much as I can. Still got Carolina Rose out there. Doing her thing with the pipe tobacco. I've been watching the Privada cigars just came out with some bangers of cigars. Be drooling because of they got some nice farm road stuff just coming out. Man, just make life tough. Privada cigars out there, man. That's the thing right there. Right? Man, you can learn a lot. From them and all the aging that they do on the sticks that they provide and stuff like that with the LCA stuff and all the special cigars. All the cigars are just special to me. I just love them. Anyway, a lot of stuff's going on, that over there. A lot of great stuff. Anyways, we just wanted to put something out just to share with you guys. Again, man, you look at life and how fast it happens, right? Anything could have happened. I could have been in a lot worse shape. Man, I'm looking forward to getting out to work. I was surprised. I could actually have gone to work that following Monday. Strength wise, I felt great. But I didn't have no clearance. I tried my best to kind of talk my way through it, but it wouldn't have happened. It was too soon for anybody to go back to work. After something like this, and then on top of that, you be a liability for a company, anyways. But looking forward to going back. I got a chance to go in tomorrow. Did my first PT on Friday, and the guy said, "Man, you just don't look like somebody who had it. They had a stroke or anything like that. Been it's just a matter of the left hand just being a little bit weak. I had one of the nurses out there. I just got through talking with the specialist. I don't know what they call him, neurologist or whatever. I just got off we were doing like a Zoom call. So the doctor that was on staff at that there, she walked me through the stuff. He asked her to do whatever things, and one of the things that he was happy with was he said that he didn't see any droops in my face or anything drooping. And then I had the nurse over there. He said, "Oh man, local boy had 5-7 years or something in working in this stuff," and he said he could see a droop. I was the Christian in me kind of fell off. I wanted to give him a droop real quick, but that wasn't gonna happen. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up and just do what you gotta do. So praise God, man, that we're okay. That's a good thing about Christ has been so gracious to me. Almost all my life. There's so many times that I've been in situations that people just don't recover from. I don't know if you guys ever heard the story of me driving down one of the busy streets, with a loaded truck, no brakes, flipping it and doing all that stuff, man. And got through that stuff. God just spares me, so many times. But He's been so gracious, to us and faithful in every way. If you guys have anything, man, that you guys can cling on to, that'll be it right there. Just cling on to Christ, man, and everything that He has to offer. We just got through with His, with Easter and the resurrection, man. The resurrection is such a big thing to me. It's a big thing for all of us. Without it, I don't know where, what we have to lean on. But praise God that He was raised, man, and He is risen and is alive and sitting at the right hand of the Father, man, on that the throne of power. So if anything, man, you guys keep it on, man. Just keep on trucking. Hopefully we'll be able to hit you guys up again some other time and talk stories. Hopefully over a stick or two. But we'll see you guys later. Aloha and shaka shaka.